Communication is a very interesting topic, and based on the number of people, what all kind of communication can be there would be discussed in this lecture. So we already know there are two important types of communication that we commonly hear. One is intrapersonal and other is interpersonal. But besides that, we also have three other forms of communication, and those are the group communication, mass communication and public communication. So all these five types of communication would be the theme for today. We would be understanding what are these and what are the differences between these three. So the first communication that we would understand today is the intrapersonal communication. Intrapersonal communication means the word intra says within. So intrapersonal communication is within yourself. So a kind of meditation, transcendental meditation we would say is a classic example. Then sometimes people speak aloud. They are talking to themselves. Sometimes they are writing their thoughts. Sometimes they are daydreaming. So all those are forms of intrapersonal communication. Sometimes when you are thinking about something, you start making gestures or symbols. So that's again a intrapersonal communication. So intrapersonal is within yourself. The sender and receiver is no one else but you yourself. And therefore we call it as intrapersonal communication. The next is interpersonal communication. Now the interpersonal communication is basically of three types. What are the three types? Basically has three parts, I would say. So the three parts are nonetheless the first one, which is the phatic, personal and intimate. Before we understand the three subparts of interpersonal communication, let's understand interpersonal. Inter means between two people. So the sender as well as the receiver are two different people. So there is a sender, there is a receiver, and there is a kind of communication. For example, this is an interpersonal communication. I am communicating, I am the sender, you are listening, you are the receiver. Now, this interpersonal communication can have three stages. The first is the phatic stage. Phatic stage is an introduction stage or a very introductory or initial phase where the conversation just starts or begins and it is patterned around certain norms. These norms could be cultural. These norms could be based on the values of an individual. So that is a phatic communication. So let's say this class would be an example of phatic communication because it's an interpersonal communication talking about the concept of communication. The next stage is a personal communication. A personal communication involves a discussion. Now, discussion could be based on the family, the profession, the health of an individual. So, let's say out of thousands of people watching here, 10 or 20 might turn up and say that we need to understand this topic in detail or we want guidance with further more topics, or there are certain questions which we need to address. So this becomes a personal, interpersonal communication at a personal level. So all the queries would remain formal only at this stage, but they would be solved on a relatively closer basis, on one-to-one basis probably. So that is a personal communication. Intimate communication is a very close communication between your families, your friends, where let's say you watch this video, you go back and you discuss the concept with your family members or your friends or your colleagues. So this is a kind of intimate communication which is between the close group and where you can say, okay, this was a good point in this video, this was not that good in that video, and this is a close communication that is seen. So three stages of the interpersonal communication, very important, commonly asked are phatic, then you have the personal, and finally a intimate interpersonal communication. The next is group communication, public communication and mass communication. Let's understand the difference. Group is a simple group which involves 3+ people. 3 or more than 3 people would be a group. So any kind of obsolete communication around a single subject would not be possible. So it's a kind of major demerit that is seen, because when there are more than one people, there is feedback, there is active listening, there is interaction, there are support, there is some people would be in support of your views, some people would not be in support of views, and it's an open platform for discussion. The next is public communication. Public communication is a communication where there is a speaker. The speaker initiates the communication. So the speaker would say certain things and that message would be heard by most of the people. Then there could be verbal cues or non-verbal cues which could come back from the people. For example, the people might be upset about why this kind of statement has been given, or people might start clapping, they might give a standing ovation, or so on and so forth. So that is a public communication where a speaker initiates the form of communication. The next is mass communication. The most important thing here is mass communication is heterogeneous, means there are not one certain specific group of people that is targeted. A large number of people are taken into account and the message is distributed, redistributed and organized, reorganized to reach to far and wide audiences. Good form of mass communication would be newspapers, TV channels. Then you can have any kind of online medium. We can say net is another form of mass communication. Then another important form of mass communication we could say is the interactive communication. When there is an interactive communication, it could be in the form of a chat, a social media where you can have a mobile, a chat or a mobile or a phone communication or a email communication, a video conferencing. So all those are interactive. A live session that could be there. So it's a kind of interactive session. So interactive communication is another important element of mass communication itself. Mass communication could be non-interactive through newspapers. It could be interactive through video conferencing, live sessions, teletext that could be there. So those are different ways under which we can have the various forms of communication. One of the most important topics that we need to understand, and the subcomponents of interpersonal communication as we have discussed are very, very important. We would be bringing in many more interesting lectures for you. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day ahead.